Hey everyone, it's Karen and I'm back with my second out of 3 videos on the signed or met the author nonfiction books I have in my collection. And so the first one that is signed is Made by Stephanie Land. And I read this as a book on NetGalley, I'm pretty sure, and I had to have a signed copy. This book is just so amazing on really stepping into the shoes of a single mom who is working very low income jobs as a maid and just seeing why do parents send their children to school when they're sick, and why do all these things that sometimes people kind of get annoyed with happen, and just what it's like to be a mom with not a job that is capable of really supporting everyone in your family. And yeah, I thought it was super interesting and definitely something that needs to change in our society. And then Let's Pretend This Never Happened by Jenny Lawson. This is her first book that she wrote, and it is so hilarious. Just about her childhood, about life beyond that, everything. I was her author escort at LitFest, which is a completely unique experience in itself because she required a bit more than other authors, I'll say that. And one of the things that is positive that I did learn from her is just she was so nervous. Our whole walk over from the author room to where she actually was going to present, and all of a sudden we walked in the door and she just turned it on. She faked it so well. And so that is something I definitely learned from her as a person, just being able to turn off your anxiety and fake it, and it'll be over soon. Then her next book, Furiously Happy, which is a little bit more about her experience with mental illness, and is also so hilarious, but also very true and heartbreaking. And I really enjoy when someone can laugh about kind of the bad situations they've been through and have a book that is equal parts funny and really serious. And then there's No Such Thing as Bad Weather. I think I've talked about this book so many times. I will try and briefly share my story if you're new and you have not heard about this. But basically, I'm obsessed with Sweden, so I got this book from the library. I just saw it and I thought it looked good. I read it right away. I drew myself a bath. I was all cozy in the bathtub reading about this. And she starts explaining this hiking trip that not really a trip, but this day of hiking that she took her girls on. And what she's describing with each line is more and more exactly like this place that I loved to hike in. It was one of my favorite places. It just gave me this sense of awe in nature and also gave me goosebumps. It's a very, very, very special place to me. And as she was describing it, I just knew that that is exactly where she was talking about. So I freaked out, got out of the bath, found her on social media, asked her if that was the place that she was talking about. Turns out it was. We were basically neighbors. We lived about 20 minutes away from each other. And I asked her where I could get a signed copy of this book. And so she mentioned a local coffee shop. I went there on a day that we didn't have school, and I was just kind of hanging out, having a scone or a muffin or something and some coffee, just reading. And I got the book, and then I was just cleaning up about to leave, and guess who walks in? Linda with her 2 daughters. And I knew who she was. She recognized who I was, and she just gave me this giant hug, and we chatted for a few minutes, and then I went on my way. But it was so, so cool. And then Truth and Beauty by Ann Patchett. This is about her relationship with Lucy Greeley, who is also a writer. And yeah, this book is not signed, but I did meet Ann Patchett once. I was supposed to meet her twice. I was not a fan of her last book, and I decided it wasn't worth the trip to see her when I didn't really have anything good to say about her book. But yeah, I met her once. I met her dog once. This book by her I loved. What Now? This was a graduation speech that she gave, and there's just all sorts of wisdom in here. And then this is a story of a happy marriage. This book is lovely. I love so many of her essays in here. I love books of essays in general, but this one was just super amazing. She even has a really lengthy one on being a writer. So if you have any writing questions or any wonderings about how she does her job, that is an awesome essay to read. Oh, I Miss You When I Blink. This is like my favorite book, like in the past few years, I would say. Like, oh, it's so good. This is basically a memoir in essays by Mary Laura, and it is just about her life, and it is about being a mom, and it is about mental illness, and it is just about all the things of adulting. She makes me laugh, she makes me cry, and it is amazing. Then Late Migrations by Margaret Wrinkle. Doris talked about this recently, and just watch her video. It's like a nonfiction blog, I think. I don't remember exactly what it's called, but it was a recent one, nonfiction blog, and she raved about this book, and I have to say I loved it too. It's just so cozy. If you love nature, you'll definitely appreciate this one. Just nature, family, all the sort of good feelings, and yeah, this one is signed. I mean, many of these are signed. I don't know why I specified that one. And then The Givenness of Things, essays by Marilyn Robinson. I met her in Chicago as well, and she actually like needed to get to a flight, and I was the last person in line, which was because I was in the front row to see her. Per usual, that's how I do things. And she waited until I could get my book signed, until she had to leave, and she was so present with me, even though I knew she was late for where she needed to be. So those are the next 10 books in my collection. I think I have 11 more, and then this will be wrapped up. But I hope you enjoyed seeing what is on my collections, and I'll talk to you later. Bye.